Shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, dope out tag on I got it in the bag, now I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general true. I never duped anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Chargers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now let's go! 3-19!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3-19!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a handoff working right. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And now out on the field. Here comes Los Angeles. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. A dump off to Elliott. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to throw. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. They're trying to resurrect. His confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. They'll look to throw here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in off the tip there. Really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it at about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you've got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 54 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Moore now being chased out left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot. And he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Moore now to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against his zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. To throw on 3rd down, Moore. And that will be incomplete as well.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bag. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
All right, here we go. Green.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break the tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll give to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
And they've stopped them on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense because if they stop them here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game, how difficult it's going to be to score on them.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force him into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Here's Moore on 1st and 10. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play. Right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Moore. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Floating one, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now Moore. Gonna throw again. Got it open there. It's Michael Gallup. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
A first down carry by Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Moore. Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Moore. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Moore throwing again on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through the... tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this 1st half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
He'll drop to throw. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So we have reached... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw. Moore got his man there complete to Gallup. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw. Moore throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some good, strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And he knocks it through. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Again, it's Elliott. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just a...
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Moore. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw is Moore. Throwing on 3rd and long. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula's not working. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
All right, now look at 56.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Looking for the end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
More now. Throwing again. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there from 10 yards out. And the Cardinals add on. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
That'll go as a loss of 5. A false start backs him up 5. First and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Moore. Back to the air on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. In for the score. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll drop to throw. And that will not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1.
Lucky 56.
Now Moore, operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Harrison. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Moore looking to throw on second down. Forced out to his left. Picked off at the 15. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Chargers on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 big plays in succession, and the Chargers on the move.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Back to throw now on first down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Chargers on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. More now. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that goes for a gain of 31. Throwing on first down. Moore. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now look at 56.
To throw again. Moore. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw here. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And a little spin cycle, room to run now. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. Boy, people are really happy about those picks.
And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harrison. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Moore on first down. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he's got this down to the 35. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys